You ever unwrap something like a candy bar or a new phone or whatever, and the packaging is so perfect. It's like it was cut by lasers, I swear. It makes
Yeah.
the product feel 10 times more valuable.
Yeah, it's easy to overlook that kind of precision, but it takes serious skill and some surprisingly sophisticated machinery to pull that off.
Right? So today we're going deep on a job most people probably haven't thought twice about, the slitter operator. You've shared some RoleCatcher resources on this, and I'm curious to see what's involved.
What's fascinating is how this field is evolving. It's at the intersection of traditional manufacturing and this wave of automation sweeping through industries.
Okay, so for those of us unfamiliar, what exactly does a slitter operator do all day?
So a slitter operator is really a vital member of any manufacturing team. They're responsible for setting up, operating, and maintaining these machines that cut or slit various materials to specific dimensions.
Okay, that makes sense. But what's it really like? Paint a picture for us.
Well, it's definitely a far cry from a quiet office, that's for sure. Imagine bustling manufacturing plants, the air filled with the hum of machinery, maybe even the scent of metal or paper, depending on the material of the day.
Okay, so not for the faint of heart. What qualities would make someone successful as a slitter operator? Is it all about technical skills?
Technical skills are essential, of course, but you're also dealing with heavy machinery, often under tight deadlines. It takes physical stamina, a meticulous eye for detail, and a serious commitment to safety.
It sounds like a job where you need to be incredibly present, aware of your surroundings and potential hazards.
Absolutely. And on top of that, you need to be a problem solver. These machines are complex. Things can go wrong. And a good slitter operator needs to think on their feet to diagnose and fix issues quickly.
So it's not just about following a set routine. There's real critical thinking involved. What's an example of a problem a slitter operator might encounter on the job?
Um, let's say they're working with a roll of thin film, and suddenly the edges start coming out ragged and uneven. Could be a dull blade, incorrect tension settings, even a tiny variation in the material itself. They need to identify the root cause and adjust accordingly, sometimes on the fly.
That's a lot of pressure. I can see why attention to detail and problem solving go hand in hand in this role. So where does someone even begin on this career path?
Well, you usually start at an entry-level position, often assisting more experienced operators. Think of it as a hands-on apprenticeship, where you're learning the ropes from the ground up.
I imagine there's a lot of on-the-job learning, picking up those subtle cues and techniques you don't find in a textbook. What comes after that initial stage?
As you gain experience, you move up the ladder. Junior operator, senior operator, and believe it or not, even master slitter operator.
Hold on. A master slitter operator. There's a whole ranking system.
Absolutely. Each level comes with increased responsibility and complexity. A junior operator might handle the setup and operation of a single machine, while a senior operator might oversee an entire production line, managing a team, and ensuring quality control across the board.
So it's a career path with real room for growth, not just in terms of salary, but in the scope of your responsibilities.
Exactly. And as you reach those higher levels, you might even collaborate with engineers on process improvements, troubleshooting complex issues, or even training the next generation of operators.
It's like any skilled trade. You start by mastering the fundamentals, and then you can really start to get creative and innovative.
Precisely. And this is where the evolution of the field gets really interesting, because while mastering those traditional skills is still essential, technology is changing the game for slitter operators in some pretty significant ways.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this tech twist.
Remember those perfectly cut materials we talked about? Well, increasingly those cuts are being made by computer-controlled machines, not just by hand anymore.
So we're talking about automation coming to the world of slitter operators. What does that look like in practice?
Okay, so imagine a machine that can take a massive roll of material, scan it for imperfections, and then using incredibly precise lasers or blades, slice it into thousands of perfectly identical pieces, all while making micro adjustments along the way based on real-time data. That's the kind of technology we're talking about.
That's incredible, but I imagine that changes the skills needed, right? It's not just about knowing how to operate a machine manually anymore.
Exactly. A modern slitter operator needs to be comfortable with digital interfaces, potentially even doing some basic programming to calibrate and troubleshoot these advanced machines.
So it's almost like being a hybrid between a skilled tradesperson and a tech specialist.
Exactly. And this blend of skills is only going to become more important as automation continues to transform manufacturing. And you know what's fascinating? This tech shift isn't just changing how things are made, It's changing how you even get a job in the first place.
Now, that's an interesting twist. What do you mean?
Well, remember those RoleCatcher resources you shared? They highlighted how AI is being used to analyze job applications and even conduct initial screenings.
Okay, so we're talking algorithms deciding who gets an interview and who doesn't.
In a way, yes. Many companies use applicant tracking systems, or ATS, to manage the flood of resumes they receive. These systems scan for specific keywords and phrases, essentially looking for the perfect digital match.
So it's not enough to just have the skills. You need to know how to speak the language
Yep.
of these algorithms. That's both impressive and kind of intimidating.
It's a whole new world of job hunting. But here's the good news. RoleCatcher also offers tools that use AI to help job seekers tailor their resumes to get past these automated systems.
So you can fight fire with fire. But that still sounds a little daunting. What's some practical advice for someone who might be intimidated by this tech-driven job search process?
The key is to realize that you don't have to become a coding whiz to succeed. It's about understanding how to leverage these tools to your advantage. For example, instead of just listing generic skills on your resume, highlight specific experiences that demonstrate those skills in action, using language that aligns with what those algorithms are looking for.
So it's about being strategic and thoughtful, even at the resume building stage. It's like you're playing a game with the system, figuring out how to put your best foot forward in this digital world.
Exactly. And remember, this isn't just about Slitter operators. This is impacting nearly every profession. Learning how to navigate this landscape of algorithms and automation is quickly becoming an essential skill in itself.
It's like a hidden layer of complexity in the job market that most people probably aren't even aware of.
And it ties into what we were discussing earlier about continuous learning being so vital in this field. It's not just about staying up to date on the latest machinery, but also on the tools and strategies that can help you stand out in a competitive job market.
So it's not enough to just be great at your craft. You need to be savvy about how you present those skills to the world, both human and algorithmic.
Absolutely. And that brings us to another crucial aspect of standing out. Showcasing your skills in a way that goes beyond a traditional resume. For someone in a hands-on field like this, a portfolio can be a game changer.
A portfolio. For a Slitter operator. I've never thought about that before. What would that even look like?
Imagine being able to show potential employers a collection of your most impressive work. Before and after photos of materials you've slit to exacting specifications. Detailed documentation of a complex project you managed, even testimonials from previous employers or colleagues.
That's brilliant. It's one thing to say you can do something. It's completely different to actually show proof of your abilities.
Exactly. And in a field where precision and attention to detail are paramount, a portfolio can speak volumes. It allows potential employers to see your skills in action and get a tangible sense of the quality of your work.
Okay, so we've got the tech skills, the job hunting savvy, the portfolio. What else can someone do to really set themselves apart in this field?
Don't underestimate the power of good old-fashioned networking. Attending industry events, connecting with people on LinkedIn, reaching out to those already working in the field. These are all invaluable ways to learn, grow, and make connections that could open doors.
Okay, so we've got the tech skills, the job hunting savvy, the portfolio. What else can someone do to really set themselves apart in this field?
Don't underestimate the power of good old-fashioned networking. Attending industry events, connecting with people on LinkedIn, reaching out to those already working in the field. These are all invaluable ways to learn, grow, and make connections that could open doors.
It's that reminder that even in a world dominated by technology, human connection still matters.
It absolutely does. And those connections can be especially valuable in a field like this where experience and mentorship are so crucial for developing those specialized skills.
So it's a blend of old and new, mastering the craft, embracing the technology, and building relationships along the way. It's like a three-pronged approach to success in the 21st century manufacturing world.
Precisely. And that brings us to something really crucial that the RoleCatcher materials emphasized: certifications. In a field like this, they aren't just a piece of paper. They're proof positive of your commitment to safety and expertise.
Okay, so we're not just talking about any certifications. What specific ones would catch an employer's eye in this field?
Think about the skills we've been discussing. A forklift certification demonstrates you can handle heavy machinery safely and efficiently. An OSHA safety certification shows you're serious about workplace safety, a major consideration in a manufacturing environment.
It's like a shorthand way of saying, I've got the skills and the knowledge to handle myself in this environment. Those certifications go beyond just ticking boxes on a resume. They speak to a mindset and a commitment to excellence.
Exactly. And that's really what it boils down to in this field. It's about constantly striving to Learn, improve, and adapt. Because as we've seen, the landscape is constantly evolving.
It's like you're never truly done learning as a slitter operator.
Yeah.
There are always new materials, new technologies, new challenges to embrace.
And that's what makes it so exciting. It's a career path with incredible potential, but it requires a willingness to embrace lifelong learning as a core value.
This is reminding me of that old saying, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Except in this case, the journey of being a slitter operator seems pretty amazing itself. But I'm curious, what would you say is the single most important quality for someone to thrive in this ever-changing field?
It's adaptability, hands down, because we've talked about how tech is changing the game, but it's not a one-time shift. The materials they're working with could change, the software running the machines will update, even the expectations of employers are in constant flux.
So it's not enough to just be a master of the craft today. You need to be ready for what the craft might become tomorrow.
Exactly, and that ties into everything we've discussed. Being adaptable means being a continuous learner, always curious about new technologies and techniques. It means being a problem solver, able to adjust on the fly when things inevitably go wrong.
It's almost like a mindset, right? Not being afraid of change, but seeing it as an opportunity to learn and grow.
Precisely. And that mindset, that adaptability isn't just valuable for a slitter operator, it's becoming essential across the board. The world of work is changing so rapidly. Those who can embrace that change will be the ones who thrive.
It's giving me a lot to think about even beyond this specific career path. But before we wrap up, I'm curious about one more thing. We focus on slitter operators, but this blend of hands-on skill and technology seems like it's impacting a lot of other jobs in manufacturing.
Yeah.
What are some other roles that might pique the interest of someone who likes the sound of this field?
Oh, there are so many. Think about the technicians who calibrate and maintain those complex machines, the quality control specialists ensuring those precise cuts meet industry standards, even the designers using software to create the blueprints for those perfectly engineered products.
It's like a whole ecosystem of interconnected roles, each requiring its own unique blend of technical prowess and human ingenuity.
And don't forget about the logistics side of things. Someone needs to manage the flow of materials in and out of these factories, optimizing supply chains and ensuring everything runs smoothly. Technology is transforming those roles too, with data analytics and automation playing increasingly important roles.
It's incredible to think about all the hidden complexities behind the products we use every day. It's like we've peeled back the curtain and glimpsed a whole world of skill, precision, and innovation that most people probably never even knew existed.
It's a great reminder that even in our increasingly digital world, there's still a vital place for those who can work with their hands, who appreciate the beauty of a well-crafted product, and who are excited to combine those traditional skills with the power of technology.
Well said. This deep dive has been truly eye-opening. I feel like I've gained a whole new appreciation for the world of slitter operators and the ever-evolving landscape of manufacturing as a whole.
It's been a pleasure exploring it with you. Remember, curiosity is key. The more we learn about the world around us, the more we realize how much there is to discover.
Absolutely. To our listeners, if this conversation has sparked your curiosity, don't let it end here. Check out those RoleCatcher resources for more information. Explore other corners of the manufacturing world, and who knows, you might just find your next career adventure along the way.
And remember, the future belongs to those who are willing to learn, adapt, and grow.
This has been The Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us.